we're giving away this 1200 horsepower turbo Trans Am. Just go to lsnasty.com. Every dollar you spend is an entry to win. Pretty soon you might be sitting in the driver's seat.
What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are excited. Got a killer week ahead. It's nice out. It's actually warm and sunny, which is great. Perfect for racing weather. Too bad it wasn't like this on Saturday. You guys know we're giving away the salty chicken, the crispy chicken. God, I just want to call it the salty chicken. The crispy chicken. 1200 horsepower, turbo Trans Am, Holley EFI, Viking suspension all around, strange S6 rear end, built 400, forged LS, 91mm turbo. It's badass. lsnasty.com. Go over there, buy some merchandise, automatically get entered to win it. I don't know what more you could want, but that's something we're offering. So we're gonna try to keep it short and to the point and do this video quick. I did do some discovering on the bad apple, so I'm kind of like filming everything that we do to this to do a very like in-depth, inclusive. What has leaked everywhere? Something leaked everywhere. You see this? I feel like it wasn't like this when I departed the other day. All right, we got Mason here. Mason's back from doing some storm work. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah. Go out there and make some money.
What, 3 days?
4 days, right?
4 days,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Exciting?
Yeah, it was nice. It wasn't too far from home.
Mason's about to be rolling in the money because the pay on the Stormworks net 30, and
We've been working just
like every other week
it's like
they've been working.
a weekly paycheck. It's just 30 days later.
And we're keeping you.
Yeah.
We're really keeping you within your realm here, so you don't go and buy nothing stupid. Like a convertible Fox body, or like some 26-inch wheels for your truck.
I didn't have to buy those. I did some trading on that. Really got that one.
But we got a big week planned. The plan for this week is we're going to get this area of the shop cleaned out, and then we're going to get the plasma table set up, which is long overdue. How long overdue is that?
Like 6 months.
Very long overdue. So we got some not exciting work. Look at how clean the shop's looking as far as like we're getting rid of cars. We're going to do we got a big video this week. We're going to take the Pro Mod somewhere else. I haven't really revealed that. I think I mentioned it in the channel. There's a different shop in Benson, but
Yeah.
we haven't really gone too much in depth. So what we'll do is we'll load that up and take it over there, and that will kind of be like a introduction to what may potentially come.
Maybe.
So, all right, we're gonna give Mason the camera here, and we're just gonna talk real quick.
I'm a cameraman. Hey, that's a nice welder.
That is a nice welder. That's actually Mason's welder. We're gonna keep it short and to the point in today's video. We're just gonna go over like a little bit of what we got going on with this. I've been working on it a little bit and just kind of giving you guys updates. So I'm going to try to get to the point where we film more with it as we work on it. Don't want to bore you guys, but we want to get this thing done relatively quick. So we have like all hands on deck with this. You guys know we had some issues with like the rear end and the spacing, and we couldn't get the wheel. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but the rear end, it's not a factory width rear end, but it's a very wide rear end. When you guys are building race cars, this is how I've done it at least. I get the wheels and tires that I want with the back spacing that I want, and I just put them in the fender well where I want them, and then I measure like axle flange to axle flange, or not axle flange, mounting surface to mounting surface, and then you can do the math because you got to subtract for the brake rotor and all that stuff. And you build your rear end to that and get it to fit in there. I don't do the rear end building. I just get the wheels, and that's how the chassis guys have done it. So we want to run a double beadlock wheel because this is a very strong motor. It's a very fast car. Really, anything high horsepower, we run double beadlocks on. They don't make a double beadlock wheel in anything past a 6-inch backspace. That's because it is difficult to mount the wheel. Like, you can't get the tire on it. It's just a pain in the ass. So we understand that. We don't want something that makes it difficult to work on. But with the width of this rear end, we can't get the right backspacing that we need. If we were to run, you know, a 6-inch backspacing, the tire would literally stick out here. It looked like some Mad Max shit, and we're not trying to do that. So the solution is to narrow the rear end even more. And it's not ideal to have to narrow the rear end after all the brackets and everything or all that stuff are on there and it's complete, but it is something that like we have to do. It's actually a Mark Williams rear end, so it's a 9-inch housing from Mark Williams. It has his axle flanges on there as well. So we put the wheel up there and got some measurements. We're gonna run a 15 by 12 4.5 inch, or sorry, 15 by 12 4-inch backspace wheel, and we could do that if we narrow this 4 inches. So we're literally gonna go in here, we're gonna lop off 4 inches of the axle tube on each side, weld some new Mark Williams 9-inch ends on there, and we're gonna have to pull the axles out and see how far the spline is on the axles, or if it's possible to get these resplined, or do we just need to order a new set of axles. So these look like they're pretty nice axles. I mean, look how beefy the axle flange on that, and it's lightened out here too, which is nice. So I mean, there's some nice, I mean, it's, I would assume that they are gun drilled as well, because if you're getting the lightened flange and all that stuff, you're probably,
sure.
It's probably pretty legit. So that is like the tentative game plan. We're going to end up taking it down to J&J Fabrication, and we're going to have him narrow the rear end. He's got like a, I think they call it like a Truin bar or something. Is that what they call it? And what you do is you stick it in there, and sorry, we have a bird problem in here now.
Look, it's right there.
Okay. I'm not going to say that those birds aren't going to be here in the next video, but they're not going to be here in the next video. Alright, the bird that was being a nuisance has since been evicted. So, let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's go over our game plan. We're going to take the rear end out of the car. With the car sitting on the lift, we're going to take everything out of the rear end until it's just the housing. We're going to take it down to J&J Fab. We're going to narrow it 4 inches, put the Mark Williams ends back on there. And I say the Mark Williams ends because they're different from just like a strange big Ford end or something like that. It's a square 3x3 bolt pattern, where the Ford 9-inch is a little bit different. I have to check and see what bearing it takes, because it might take a specific bearing. I'm not sure yet. Not familiar with this. I just know that's not a big Ford 9N. So we're going to get it narrowed. We're going to bring it back here. We are going to, I'm pretty sure we have to take the pumpkin out and put a different third member in there. I have one that's a 370 gear, which will go in there perfectly. This has got like a 513 gear, something way nitro stuff, not what we need to do with the turbo stuff. So we're going to put a new gear in there, which will be perfect. We'll get the axles either sent off and cut down, or if they are splined far enough, we can just cut them here in house, and we'll stick this guy back together. We will then get ourselves a set of, I think we're going to go with some RC comps, which we've been running lately. Very happy with how they perform, and they're lightweight, they're easy to get. Brandon Carter Motorsports hooks us up with them, so if you guys need new wheels, I highly recommend RC comps from Brandon Carter. We'll get some 15 by 12 4-inch backspace wheels, slap them on here, and then we should be good to go. Have the wheel sitting in there far enough where we could set the car down real low. It'll have proper clearance on the inside. We did all the measuring. We'll still have like 2 inches of clearance from the beadlock ring to the lower control arm. Like, all this stuff you have to really look at. You can't just throw stuff in there and be like, hey, I want to run a 14-inch wide rim, and you stick it in there and nothing fits. The tire doesn't fit. So you really have to try to look at all that stuff. Once we get all of that done, we're going to get some fronts ordered up, because everything on the front is just about wrapped up. Here, let's go take a look at this. We're going to pop the K-member off and get everything painted. We got the steering rack in place. We can't run our steering shaft till we get the seat in there and make sure the column and everything's good to go. So we're just going to hold off on that, but it will be able to be rolling at this point, because we got our K-member, our lower control arm, our spindle. We got to make new tie rod ends, and then we will have a full complete roller. Once we get this thing to a full complete roller, the rear end and all that stuff's done. The front end has wheels on it. We're good to go. We're sitting pretty at that point where we're going to put the car in the trailer. We're going to go down to J&J Fab, and big shout to Jason Harris down there at J&J Fabrications. You guys know Jason runs all the Pro Mod stuff. He said, hey, bring the rear end down, we'll knock it out same day. We're going to bring it back, put it in here, get all the axles, bring the car down. They're going to make us a transmission cross member for this thing. So here, Mason, you run on this side, I'll go on the other side. Got the transmission in the car, and as you guys, I mentioned in the other video, the cross member was not too happy where like that clover is. So we're going to try to do everything by keeping it in the car. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut the floor back a little bit. And where this tube is, we're going to then have the bar angled and have it come back around loop through here and then go back over to this side. This side, the bar is already angled back, so it will fit nicely. We're going to put the clovers in like right here and right here. That way it makes it, you know, very easy to get the transmission in and out. At that point in time, we should be good to go. I mean, everything as far as like the chassis wise will be ready. We'll be ready to do the turbo kit, and then it's just mounting, front end mounting doors, doing all of that stuff. I actually got all of the equipment to make like Zeus tabs and everything like this in-house. So I think, Mason, are we going to give it a shot to mounting the front end and stuff?
Yeah, might as well.
Well, honestly, at this point, we better get good at that, because we tear some shit up at the racetrack when it comes to putting body panels.
It's brutal.
Body panels on and off, it's tough. Like doors, the wind grabs them, messes up the hinges. It's something that I've never, I mean, at this point in time, I don't know how to do it, but do I think I can learn how to do it? Yeah, I mean, how hard could it be?
I'll tell you one thing that needs to happen. I don't understand why race cars don't have them. Billet door hinges.
Billet door hinges?
Yes. The hinges bend all the time. That's like the biggest problem.
At the back?
No, the actual hinges. Like here where the... Like this one's not a problem. This one has stock Fox body door hinges on it. It's like this one's not a problem.
Oh, you're saying like the little bar that comes out.
Like
yeah, it's super flimsy.
The Black Sheep, Slick Rick, all those, they're junk.
Like you call up like Quartermax or something. I'm not talking smack. I mean, I run all the Quartermax stuff, but it's just like all like small, lightweight stuff. It's just a little rod that comes out with a pin on it, and you set the door in there, but you can bend the actual rod itself. And like
it's not heavy enough.
One of them bends. It's game over. The wind blows real strong, and it rips the door open. It bends the hinge, and then the door just doesn't fit.
And it doesn't matter if you have a strap on it. The strap can be on it. It still bends the hinge.
Yeah, it's very... The front end, the fitment, the stuff, it's very difficult. And you guys know how it is. Like, I say you guys know. I'm telling you guys if you guys don't know. For those of you guys that do race, you do understand that, like, at the track, shit happens. You know, someone walks by and, you know, they bang into something and it messes it up. It's just part of it. So having the knowledge and know how to do it, I think will be very useful. And it's something that we just have to learn to do.
I don't think it'll be anything that's hard. I think it's something that's tedious.
I bought some tools that are like specific for bending the metal bar like that, which, I mean, dude, Instagram ads got me. I don't know what I was going through. And here, I'll pull it up, because it's not only the Instagram ad that got me, but then they're like, I go to check out and they're like, hey, while you're here, do you want this? And I'm like, dude, you know what? Actually, how'd you know? I did want that. TMR Customs. I know you guys have seen this shit all over the place on Instagram. I know you did. They sell the things that like you bolt to the hubs of like your Jeep to do the alignments with no suspension on it. Is that how you do alignments on a Jeep, with the suspension hanging? I don't know who on earth's doing alignments like that. But anyways, so I got the rod and flat bar bender for $189. This is so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed to show this, but it just looks so cool. And I was like, oh, dude, I'd love to be able to like bend all that stuff, because if you just bend it in the vise, it just like kinks. This isn't a tubing bender. This is like a rod. Like this right here is not hollow. It's just a rod. So I was like, you know what? I'll get that. And then they said, fabricator measuring and layout tool, and I'm like, hey, if we're bending the rod, we might as well get a measuring tool for it. And
so you bought a rod bender?
Yeah. Do you have one?
No, I thought that's what your laptop was for.
A different kind of rod bender. So I'm already doing pretty good. Then it's like a weld bottle organizer. The whole shebang, right? Because they had one that was like $40, but then they had one that's the whole shebang. It holds like my welding helmet, my gloves, which I can never find my gloves when I go to weld, and it holds like some like aerosol bullshit, which I don't know what I would be using. That'd be aerosol near the welder. So I was like, yeah, get that. And then it said notching, cutting, and tap fluid, which is probably the only thing that we actually needed here, because we just use WD-40 when we go to drill something. But now we have legitimate cutting oil, and that came to the tune of $356.
And this is why Ellis Nasty's going broke.
But, I mean, could be useful. I can't wait to get it and do a review, because I know everyone... Have you seen those ads on yours, on your Instagram and Facebook? They are heavy on the Facebook marketing, and if it's BS, I'm here to tell you. Maybe this should be like a new segment where I just like, whatever ads I see, I buy it.
You have to buy it.
I have to buy it, and then I review it and tell you guys my honest opinion. But, I mean, I think that it'd be... I need to redo the stuff on the Sheep. We're getting into carbon fiber manufacturing, so if we're going to make carbon front ends, at least for myself, or carbon hoods, I'd like to be able to install them on my shit. I'm not going to make the hood and then take it somewhere to have it installed. So
that carbon fiber hood on the red Dodge is going to be sick.
yeah, I'm doing it mainly. All my work trucks, carbon fiber doors, carbon fiber beds, carbon fiber tailgates. You know, people thought the Illuma duties were pieces of shit. Wait till you see the carbon duties. I mean, you put you drop anything in there, the whole bed shatters. So you throw chains in there, done. But I think that's our tentative game plan with this. So we got the transmission in there, everything's bolted up, motor transmission's good. What I'm gonna try to do today, big cleanup day, so probably not going to get any work done on this car, but tomorrow I want to come in here and work on this pretty hard. I want to get the whole front end cleaned up, make sure everything's painted, and get the rear end out of it. That's my goal for tomorrow, and then either tomorrow evening or Wednesday we'll have the rear end brought down to J&J Fab and get narrowed. So I'll order the ends up that I need today, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling. So Monday, I didn't have a video film for you today, so I just wanted to let you guys know our game plan. We did get the wheel and tire spacing figured out. We know what we need to do. So as far as a game plan, we got a game plan. We're going to keep rocking and rolling and getting shit done. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in any carbon parts, I think we're going to start by making sheets. And then ideally the plan is, you know, we can get into making everything as far as carbon motor plates, carbon parachute handles, brackets, you know, anything that you could think of along. And my goal would be to start doing some front ends and hoods. And I do that. I say this like selfishly, because if you call any other company up right now and say, hey, I want a carbon front end, they say you know, $7 grand in 16 months. There's gonna be a learning curve, but we'll document all that, you know, like might as well. So
yeah, we're actually going to be more expensive and faster.
Maybe you
got to pay for convenience.
Yeah, I mean, that's our plan. So, all right, that's going to wrap today's video. I got to get to work on stuff. Mason and I got to clean this whole place. Our goal, end of day, Mason's got to go pick up a race car. So tomorrow's video is going to be unveil a new race car. I know we said we were downsizing, but yeah, so downsize, upsize. I mean, sometimes that gets confusing which one's which.
Hey, but the thing is, we have more space now to put race cars.
We do have more space, yeah. Yeah, well, no, we totally do. So maybe we don't need to downsize. Maybe we need to buy more to fill the spots. Empty spots aren't good. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget, go to lsnasty.com, buy some merchandise. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can win a 1200 horsepower turbo Trans Am. Go to lsnasty.com and get automatically entered. Anything you purchase gets you automatically entered to win. And you could be coming here to pick up your hot rod. We could be talking about you narrowing the rear end on that guy. Or whatever you want. The subtle dab to end the video.